Hey there, Tamir from Fibonacci-Traders.com, your weekly market review, November 4th, 2023. Like, subscribe, and let's see what SPY and friends brought us in the past week. SPY gained back 2 weeks of losses, as you can see, in the previous 2 weeks to the downside, and now this past week all the way gained back. And as we can see, and as we always say, trend lines are the true support and resistance for price action. You have the longer term downtrend channel, the red one, shorter term from October 2022 until this date, 13 months of an uptrend line holding the higher lows, this trend line, the middle one, resistance, resistance, support, support. Now in the past 2 months or so, resistance. Continuing up, we will see this trend line, the red one, once again becomes a very tough resistance. Closing the month above it, and we will see new highs, and maybe by the end of 2023, we will see new all-time highs. But one candle at a time, one trend line at a time. You can also take Fibonacci. And as you can see, support, resistance, support, support, support. Now, next one is the 441. Above it, this red trend line. Above it, 458. Above 458, and we will see 482. You can take also Fibonacci from the recent low. And here you have it. Closing the week above the 50% retracement. Downtrend, bounce of a trend line. 50% retracement. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Zoom in. Always zoom in and zoom out to get a better point of view of price action. And as you can see, since peak of July, downtrend towards this trend line. Bounce above 50%. Next is the 440 area. The 618 retracement. Above it, we will see this area over here, the 448, together with this red trend line. QQQ also gained back previous 2 weeks losses. And if we can take trend lines to show us and help us to identify the trend. For now, since the peak of July, the trend is still down. Lower highs, lower lows. Let's see if bulls of Qs can break up and above this downtrend channel. If so, you can take Fibonacci, and Fibonacci will let you know the next support and resistance for price action above 370. As you can see, Fibonacci gives us automatically all the support and resistance for future price action. High of the week was at the 618 Fibonacci area, together with this trend line. Not surprising, breaking up and above. Where to next? No need to guess. You have 377 and then 387. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Where are we heading in the next few weeks until the end of 2023? Did we start Santa Rally? End of the year rally. One candle, as big as it may get, it does not change the overall sentiment. This is a very bullish candle. 6.5% gains in 1 week on the Qs. We did not have this kind of week since very long time. Since March, 6% to the upside. Since March, we did not have this kind of bullish candle. It might signal, because we have 2 to the downside, 2 to the upside. Now, let's see continuation above it, and then with high probability, we will see 387, above 387, where price might be heading next. Let's see. From here to here, 418 by the end of 2023. Dow Jones, also very bullish week, 5% gained. Now let's see where the Dow is heading next. As you can see, swing low, swing high, retracement, Fibonacci, to the downside, Fibonacci to the upside. Above it, no need to guess. 357. All we need to do is to know how to use properly Fibonacci on any time frame. We have Dow Jones on the daily, gapping up above this trend line. We have a gap to the downside over here. We have another gap to the downside over here. And we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled. All we need to do is follow price. For now, we have a bullish startup. Continuation above 341. And we are heading towards 356 on the weekly. On the daily, 346, 351, and then 353. IWM, bouncing. You know this 162 area. We have drawn this area as a very important area of support few weeks back. And we said that IWM bulls must defend it. And they are defending it. Very bullish week. 7.6% to the upside. We did not get this kind of bullish candle on IWM since October of last year. 6% to the upside October 2022. And now 7.6 to the upside November 2022. Let's see bullish continuation above 180 towards the 200. But overall, as you can see, 1 year IWM is basically moving sideways between the 160 and the 200. Bitcoin on the weekly, once again, trend lines are the true support resistance for price action. We drew this trend line 2 or 3 weeks back. We can go back and check previous weekly recap videos. And now we have a doji of a trend line. Doji of a trend line is the most significant signal for what might come, a trend reversal. And in this case, trend reversal to the downside. And here you have broadening formation. We also have a smaller broadening formation over here. So let's see. For now, if you're not long yet on Bitcoin, wait until this week will close. We have another 1 day and 17 hours from the day and the hour that I'm recording this video. You have broadening formation, support zone to the downside, Ethereum still inside the downtrend channel. As you can see, it all comes down to trend lines. And as long as Ethereum is inside this channel, Ethereum is going where? Going down. Crude oil on the weekly, below this trend, below this area of support, broke below it, closed the week below this one. It's not bullish. Now we can take Fibonacci, swing low, swing high. And as you can see, Fibonacci gives us everything. Now we have all the support that we need to the downside, breaking below the 79.60. 76.34 is next. NG1, natural gas futures, inside this channel, but trend lines. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is it. If you want to become a successful trader, consistent successful trader, it's doing the same thing each and every time, on each and every trade, on each and every time frame, over and over and over again. And of course, it's only if you have a winning strategy, a good strategy that fits your mentality, that fits your risk tolerance, and a strategy that fits your way of life, your daily routine. If you have a 9-to-5 job, you cannot be a day trader. You need to be swing trading, long-term position holding. Everything doesn't matter. What are you choosing to be? Day trading, swing trading, hold term, long position holding? It all comes down to understanding candlestick analysis, aka pure price action on multi-time frames, Fibonacci, and trend lines. That's it. Gold holding above the 1974 with an inside candle. Next is the 2022, above it 2084. SOXX, not surprising. Bullish week, but what do we see? Still inside this downtrend green channel. And as long as we don't get a weekly close above this green channel, it's downtrend until proven otherwise. Breaking above it, next will be this channel that will become this lower border of this channel that will become the next resistance. It was support over here, support over here, support over here, breaking up and above. It will become resistance. Same as it did this week and this week over here. And you have a broadening formation. Broadening formation is the only true formation where price moves, aggregates in all the rest of the formations, whether it's cup and handle, inverted head and shoulders, all these kind of flags, they don't exist. They don't exist. KRE, double bottom scenario with a very bullish week, 12.2% to the upside. Now let's see continuation towards the 46 area. Above it, we will see 50. Above 50, and the same price action that we saw over here to the downside, we will get to the upside towards the 62. XLE close the week with 1% to the downside. We have the 90, all this area between the 90 and the 94, very tough resistance. Now we have lower lows. As you can see, this is why we use trend lines. We have lower lows, high, lower high, from resistance, now support, but it's support for the lower lows. There is such thing as bad support, and there is such thing as a good resistance. In this case, this is resistance, resistance, support. In this case, it's not a good support, because as long as XLE continues sliding down on this Y trend line, the way is down. XLV inside candle, breaking below Friday lows, where price might be heading next. No need to guess, we have Fibonacci. And look at this, where price ended up. You take swing high, swing low, and here you have it. A little bit more accurate. High of the week, Fibonacci. Apple. Overall, 5% to the upside in previous week. Not so bad. Let's see where Apple is heading. Where Apple goes, the rest of the market goes. And once again, Fibonacci, 177 area, support, resistance, 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 the high of the week. Let's see continuation above it. Next will be the 181, a weekly close, or at least 2-3 days above the 181, and we can start taking long on Apple towards the 198. Amazon, after a few weeks, sideways move, as you can see here. No need Fibonacci. You can see it. All this area was a very important area of support. Broke, but back above it now. Very bullish week. 8.5% to the upside. And Amazon, where Amazon will head next. Take Fibonacci. That's it. Next will be the 146. You can take it also for here. 141, because as you can see, all this area is a very tough area of support. Resistance, resistance, 142 above it, 156, and of course, you can take trend lines. This is a good resistance. Why? Because it helps us to identify the longer term higher highs. AMD 4% to the upside, broke, very bullish week, post earnings, broke above with a very strong breakout above this downtrend red channel towards where? White trend line. You know this white trend line? We have been talking about this white trend line in the past 2-3 months already. Now, once again, support, 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 support. Then became resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of resistance. And this week, high of the week on this trend line. Let's see continuation up and above. Where price might be heading next? You guessed it. Fibonacci closed above the 50%. Next is the 116 area. Look left. 116 area. Very tough resistance over here. June till August. 2 months of resistance. So, by natural things of price action, 116 will become the next resistance. Above it, in my opinion, we will get a bull run towards the 133 and maybe towards 166 before the end of 2023. Microsoft, very bullish week, almost new all-time highs. Microsoft is the new leader. 4% from all-time highs. Broke above the 345 area, which was November and January of 2022 recent highs. Not recent, the previous all-time highs over here, all this area. Now, new all-time high closing. Closed. Microsoft, ladies and gentlemen, is new all-time highs. In closing price, this is the high all-time highs, 366.70. Google inside candle. Let's see if Google can continue towards the 132 area or breaking below the 120, and in my opinion 102 will be next. Meta basically moving sideways. We don't need anything to see that Meta is inside some kind of a box. As you can see, long continuation above the 326 towards 355 and then all-time highs at the 381. Short breaking below this box. Tesla trying to survive, but still in a downtrend. You remember we talked about we have good resistance, bad resistance, we have good support, and we have bad support. This is a bad support. This green trend line holding the lower lows. This red trend line holding the lower highs. Since October of 2021, 2 years of a downtrend. This double top, multi-top scenario is still in play, breaking below this green trend line, and we will see 162 to the downside. Netflix continuing to show relative strength to the rest of the market, but still below this green trend line as resistance. All this area, the 446 area, very tough resistance, as you can see here, since June till September, until it broke to the downside. 3 months of resistance. Closing the week above the 447, and we will see bulls of Netflix gaining power back towards where? No need to guess. You have Fibonacci to the upside, and you have trend lines to show you that with high probability 702 together with this trend line. Nvidia with a 3.5% to the upside this week, trying to get away from this area of support. Bulls of Nvidia knows that this is a very important area of support. All this red zone. For now, let's see where Nvidia is heading. We have all this area of resistance. all this area, resistance, all this area, support. Long continuation above this zone, short below this zone. Shopify, post earnings, overall gained 32.33% to the upside. Only after earnings in the past 2 days, it gained 25%. Very nice price action. You have trend line over here. And now you have broadening formation, long continuation above previous week's highs. Above the 63.50 towards the upper broadening formation line. It's all about broadening formation, trend lines, Fibonacci, and understanding in-depth candlestick analysis and multi-time frames. All the education that you need to become better traders, professional, consistent traders. Of course, profitable, consistent traders. Check the links in the description below. We have free Academy playlist. Start there. And then if you want to take your trading journey to the highest level, to stop following others, to tell you what to do, and you will know what to do by yourself, we have the one-on-one live mentorship program or the online program. Both programs available in English or Hebrew. Choose your language, choose your path to become profitable trader with lifetime access for support and guidance. Thank you very much for joining this video. Hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, because more videos coming up this weekend. Until the next video, stay safe.